Hello crafty friends, it's Jess from jesscrafts.com, and today I am sharing a Hanukkah card as part of my holiday card series. Recently I participated in the Coffee Lovers blog hop and I won a $25 gift certificate to Verve Stamps, where I saw this Light My World stamp set, and I decided that it would be perfect because it has stamps for several different winter holidays, and I would much prefer to give a friend a holiday card that matches their holiday instead of just kind of one of those general season's greetings, wintry themed kind of things. So I thought it would be nice to have some stamps that represented some different holidays. And so today I'm going to be working on a Hanukkah card. I have a close friend who celebrates Hanukkah, and I don't think I've ever been able to give her an actual Hanukkah card because I didn't have the stamps before. And so today I will be working on a card for her. I am going to start by stamping the sentiment onto the stitched rectangle. It is the smallest one from the two Lawn Fawn sets. I am going to be using the largest small stitched rectangle for the base of the card today. Well, sorry, not the base, the background layer of my card today. And I will be using MFT stitched circle for the image panel where I'll put the menorah. For the embossing today, I'm going to be doing a lot of gold embossing. I'm going to be using a blue and gold color scheme mostly. Hanukkah is pretty traditionally blue and white, and there will be some white in this card as well, but rather than silver, I thought the gold would stand out more. And I have gold superfine embossing powder from Ranger, which is perfect for these thin lines of the stamping, and I didn't have that in the silver. So you saw there that when I did the gold embossing, I kept a piece of typing paper underneath the area and then just tapped the embossing powder off onto the typing paper. Then I was able to lift the typing paper and funnel it back into the jar. You could also do a coffee filter. Some people find that a little bit easier. Whichever way works, or you can see sometimes my more used embossing powders, I just use a big plastic container. And I think that having used this super fine a couple of times, it will easily become one of my favorites, and it may have its own plastic container soon. So I'm going to create a background paper with the Star of David. I wanted to make it sure that the entire card reflected the Hanukkah theme, and I didn't want to use any cheesy papers or anything like that, so I decided to create my own pattern paper. I do have a bit of trouble doing this because when you're stamping and embossing a background piece here, it's important to pay attention to where you've already stamped because the Versamark is clear. And so if you stamp it and then stamp it again in the same area because it's clear and you didn't notice it, you get the mistake that I did there in the corner. And so I had to redo the entire thing over again. I took a brush and brushed off the embossing powder. Then I just started again with a new panel so that way I didn't waste embossing powder. I heated everything up to melt all the embossing powder on the menorah, the Happy Hanukkah sentiment, and the background. And now I'm going to be using some distress ink to create the background. I'm going to be using an ombre effect with blues. The distress ink I'm using is Faded Jeans, Tumbled Glass for the lightest, and Broken China for the center. And I'm just doing a lot to blend those out. It's super important to make sure that you're using an anti-static bag with these fine particles and detail stamping here. So I use the Inka Dinka 2 embossing powder bag before all of my embossing. When I finished laying out the distress ink, I wanted to make sure that it was blended as nicely as I wanted it to be, that like the colors were truly blended together and there wasn't any harsh lines. And so you see that I dried it with the heat gun before moving on. For the menorah, at first I thought about just leaving it with the gold embossing, but I didn't really like the way that looked. I felt like it was too much white space. So I'm going to be coloring it in with Copics. With Copics and the embossing powder, you actually can color the embossing powder, and that's not exactly what I wanted to do, so I'm trying to be a little bit careful not to color too much over the lines because I don't want to ruin the color of the embossing powder. I'm using one of my favorite brown combinations here. E33, 37, and 35, just to give it kind of a wood look. I didn't want to add too many new colors into the menorah, into the menorah, into the card, and so I thought it would be nice if I had been able to color the menorah gold, but obviously that wouldn't work out. I don't have any gold markers like that, and so I decided to just go with the Copics instead. I wanted to make sure that the matte layer matched exactly with everything else that I'd been doing, and so I'm going to create a piece of paper, a piece of gold foil paper, just by sprinkling the embossing powder on top of the paper. So I took the Versamark ink pad, which is sticky ink, put it on the edges of the white panel that's slightly bigger than the stitched rectangle panel, poured the embossing powder on, and melted it. So this way when I layer the stitched panel on top, the colors will match exactly, and I don't have to worry about finding something else in my stash that will coordinate easily. If you have any trouble with missing areas, you can always just go ahead and add more ink and more embossing powder. So that's it for my card today. I'm going to keep the design fairly simple because I have a lot going on with the different coloring and the custom background paper, and I just really hope that my friend enjoys it and feels special when she receives the card, as I always feel when I send people cards. That's it for my card today. If you enjoyed, can you please give this video a thumbs up. I'm going to leave links to the products I used in my blog post below. If you're interested in some more holiday videos or card making videos, you can subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.